So here is a sample paper for class 7, that is social science, and total mark is 75. And the chapter covers are geographical diversity of India, understanding the weather, new beginning cities and states, the rise of empire, from the rulers to the rule, types of government, and from barter to money. That is chapter 1, 2, 4, 5, and then 9 and 11, right? That is from history, geography, and civics. And here we have covered the multiple choice question. Answer is also there, short answer question, source based, long answer question, and map also. So let us start history section, that is of 25 marks. Then geography is also of 25 and civics is also of 25. So the first one is, which Mahajanapadas had a republican or assembly based governance? And the options are Avanti, Baji, Magadha, Khosla. So Baji. Why were ancient cities often fortified with moats and narrow gateways? For decoration, to store water, for defense and control, for trade facilitation. Okay, so for defense and control. What is the modern name of Patliputra? Rajgriha, Kushinagar, Patna, Baisali. That is Patna. What is a punch mark coin? A coin with a king's image, a ceremonial token, a silver coin stamp with symbols, a trade license. So, punch mark coin is a silver coin stamp with symbols. Ashoka belonged to which dynasty? Gupta, Nanda, Maurya, or Chola dynasty? So, Maurya dynasty, right? So, these are question number 1. 5 MCQs are there. That is 1 mark each. Now, 2 mark question answer. What is meant by India's second urbanization? So, India's second urbanization refers to the period around first millennium BCE when large cities began to develop, again the Ganga Valley, after the decline of the Indus Valley civilization. So, this urban growth was led by the rise of Janapadas and later Mahajanapadas. Okay. So, what is meant by India's second urbanization? Now, next is, what is an empire? It is again of 2 marks. An empire is a large political unit in which a single ruler controls several territories or kingdom. It is usually created by conquering neighboring regions and is ruled centrally, often with a strong army and administrative system. Next, what was the importance of Patliputra in the Mauryan Empire? So, Patliputra was bustling center of governance and commerce. It was a well fortified city, center of administration, trade, and had the king's palace and offices. Now, how did Mahajanapadas differ from Janapadas? That is of 3 marks answer questions. So, here I have given the point also, like the size and power, governance, economy and administration. You can elaborate this one in your own word also, right? So, Janapadas were small tribal kingdoms, whereas Mahajanapadas were larger and more powerful states in terms of size and power. Governance, Janapadas were ruled by tribal chiefs or king, but Mahajanapadas had well organized government with monarchy or republic. Economy and administration, Janapada had a simple agrarian economy, but Mahajanapada had tax system, armies, coinage and trade network, right? Next, what was Kautilya concept of a kingdom? That is again of 3 marks. Kautilya, also known as Chanakya, was a wise teacher and advisor to Chandragupta Maurya. So, king as the central authority, his concept of a kingdom. Kautilya believed that the king should be strong and wise and act as the central authority to maintain law and order in the kingdom. Well-organized administration. According to Kautilya, a kingdom must have a good administrative system with ministers, spies and officials to help the king govern effectively. Security and welfare. The kingdom should protect its people from external enemies and internal disorder while ensuring the welfare and prosperity of the subjects through justice, agriculture and trade. So, this is the concept of Kautilya regarding a kingdom. However, point has been given, you can elaborate this one in your own word also, like king as a central authority, well organized administration and security and welfare. Next, 4 mark, that is the long answer question. So here I have given 2 questions, that is options are there. How was the Jati system different from the Varna system? So the Jati system developed after the Varna system and was more complex and flexible in the beginning. Jatis were subcastes based on occupation, region and community. There were thousands of jatis, unlike the 4 main Varnas, Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Sudras. Jati status could change over time based on wealth, power or occupation. Each jati had its own rules and custom and was governed by a jati panchayat. So in this way, the jati system is different from a Varna system. An optional question is, why are empires considered fragile in nature? Okay, so they are considered as fragile also. So empires are considered fragile because they are often difficult to control and maintain due to large territories, hard to administer and defend such vast areas, diverse population, different cultures, languages and religions may cause internal conflict, succession disputes, wars over who will become the next ruler can weaken the empire, invasion and revolt, external attacks and internal rebellions often lead to the empire's fall. Thus, despite their strength, most empires were temporary and unstable. Okay. Now, question number 8, that is source based question. It is of 4 marks. So, it is taken from the chapter The Rise of Empire. See here, The Rise of Empire and page number 105, right? So, the paragraph is taken from here. Historians have sometimes called Ashoka a great communicator since he issued in many parts of his empire edict engraved in rocks or pillar that contained his message for the people and encouraged them to follow dharma. Most of these edicts were inscribed in Prakrit, which was the popular language in many parts of India, and written in the Brahmi script. So, Brahmi is the mother of all regional scripts of India. In his edict, Asoka called himself Deva Nampriya Piyadasi. The first word means beloved of the god, and the second one who regards other with kindness. And indeed, the language of the edict make it clear that he was interested in depicting himself as a benevolent and compassionate ruler. So this is the paragraph from page number 105, chapter 5, that is the rise of empire. Now, let us solve the question. Why Asoka is called a great communicator? Because he was among the first ruler in history to use written public communication systematically and ethically to promote social harmony, moral values across a vast and diverse empire, right? Next. Why did Asoka choose to write his edict in Prakrit? Because it was the common language spoken by ordinary people, so his messages could reach and be understood by a large part of his empire. Why did Asoka use the title Devanampriya Piyadasi in his edict? To show his divine approval and loving care for his people. Why is Asoka known as the ruler who chose peace? Because he adopted non-violence and followed the policy of dharma, that is dhamma, promoting kindness, peace and tolerance, right? So this is 25 marks, history is over, okay? And the chapter has been taking, that is new beginning cities and states and the rise of empire. Now we will do the geography part, and the chapter is taking is geographical diversity of India and understanding the weather, right? So MCQs is there. The outermost range of the Himalayas is called Himadri, Himachal, Shivalik, Vindhya, Shivalik. The northern plain are ideal for agriculture because they have rocky terrain, they have fertile soil and flat land, they are covered with forest, they are located in a desert region. They have fertile soil and flat land. The Great Indian Desert lies in which state? Punjab, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Haryana. Rajasthan. The atmospheric pressure is highest at mountain top, sea level, sky, desert, sea level. What powers most modern automated weather station use, right? That is batteries only, solar panel, petrol generator, wind turbine, solar panel. So this is 5 mark MCQs. Now 6 mark very short answer question, that is 2 marks of each. What are the elements of weather? The main elements of weather are temperature, precipitation, atmospheric pressure, wind and humidity. Why is the southern part of India referred to as peninsular plateau? So, the southern part of India is called a peninsular plateau because it is raised, flat region that is surrounded by water on three sides: the Arabian Sea in the west, the Bay of Bengal in the east, and the Indian Ocean in the south. It is also one of the oldest landforms in India. How is wind an important element of weather? Wind is an important element of weather because it affects temperature, humidity, and rainfall in a region. It carries heat, moisture, and cloud from one place to another, influencing weather conditions like storms and rainfall. Into which ranges are the Himalayas broadly categorized? Okay, now this is of 3 marks. 2 questions will be there. So, the Himalayas are broadly divided into 3 main ranges: Shivalik Hills, that is the outer Himalayas, the outermost and the youngest range with low hills. These foothills are rich in wildlife, serving as a transition zone between the Himalayas and the Gangetic Plains. Next is the Himachal, that is the lower Himalaya, lies south of the greater Himalayas and have a moderate climate allowing rich biodiversity and human habitation. Last one is the Himadri, that is the greater Himalayas, are the highest and most rugged part of the range, home to towering peaks like Mount Everest and Kanchenjunga. Next, question number 6, again it is of 3 marks. Why atmospheric pressure is higher at sea coast and lower at mountain? So, 3 reasons have been given. Air density. At sea level, air is denser because gravity pulls air molecules closer to the Earth's surface, increasing pressure. Altitude effect. As altitude increases, like on mountain, the air becomes thinner, resulting in lower atmospheric pressure. Weight of air above. There is more air above sea level than above a mountain, so the weight and pressure of the air is greater at the coast than at higher altitude, right? Next, 4 marks. Again, 2 questions are there. Despite having such different regions, mountain, desert, plain, coast, India remains one country. How do you think our geography has helped unite people? Or how does weather forecasting help farmers? So, the first answer is resource sharing. Different regions have different resource, example mountain, water, plain, crops, coast, encouraging interdependence, right? In this way the states are interdependent or the regions are interdependent. Common monsoon season. The monsoon affect most part of India, bringing people together through shared agricultural cycles and festival. Cultural exchange. Movement across mountain, desert and coast has spread language, religion and tradition, promoting unity in diversity. Natural connectivity. Rivers like the Ganga, Yamuna and Brahmaputra connect different regions, supporting agriculture and trade and encouraging interaction among the people. So, in this way our geography has helped to unite the people, right? Next is, how does weather forecast help farmer? So, planning agriculture activities. Farmer can choose the best time for sowing, watering and harvesting crops based on expected weather. Protecting crops. Forecasts warn about extreme weather like heavy rainfrost or drought, helping farmers take protective measures. Efficient use of resources. Farmer can avoid unnecessary irrigation or fertilizer use when rain is predicted, saving water and money. Disaster preparedness, that is early warnings about storms or flood, help farmers protect livestock, equipment and reduce crop loss, right? Now the last is write short notes on any two. 3 has been given, that is the cold desert of India, anemometer, Sundarban delta. Okay, so let us see the short answer. I have given all 3 answers. The cold desert of India is located in Ladakh, where winter temperature drop below -30 degrees Celsius. There is very little rainfall and the landscape is rugged with rocky terrain, deep valleys and lakes such as Pangong So. Despite harsh condition, people practice agriculture using glacial meltwater and rear animals like yak and sheep. Anemometer. It is a device used to measure wind speed and direction. It is commonly used in weather stations and by meteorologists. The most common type has rotating cups that spin faster as the wind blows stronger. Sundarban Delta. The Sundarban Delta, also known as the Ganga's Brahmaputra Delta, is the largest delta in the world. It is located in West Bengal, India. It is formed by the deposition of sediments from the Ganga Brahmaputra. It is famous for its dense mangrove forest and the Royal Bengal tiger, right? So this is the short note. Again 25 mark is over here, 50, right? Now civics. And here we have covered the chapter 9, that is from the rulers to rule, types of government, and from barter to money. So MCQs is there. In a representative democracy, who make the laws? And the options are judges, the military, elected representative, religious leader, elected representatives. What is the main problem with the barter system? Lack of goods, need for a common currency, double coincidence of want, too much money in the system, double coincidence of want. Which of the following is essential for the success of democracy? Political apathy, citizen participation, single party rule, centralized control, citizen participation. What is a common denomination? A type of coin, a value that can be used to compare or exchange all goods, a form of tax, a marketplace, a value that can be used to compare or exchange all goods. What is the role of the judiciary in the separation of power? Make rules for business, enforce international law, interpret laws and deliver justice, collect taxes. So, interpret laws and deliver justice. Okay. So, these are 5 MCQs. Now, let us do the very short answer question, that is of 2 marks and 3 questions are there. So, what are the new forms of money? The new forms of money include digital money such as credit card, debit card, mobile wallet, Google Pay, Phone Pay, and online banking system. What is government? A government is the organization or system that makes laws, enforces them, and manages the affairs of a country or region. It helps maintain law and order, provide services, and protect the right of citizen. Now, what are the silent features of ancient coins? Ancient coins were usually made of metal like gold, silver, or copper and had image of king, god, or symbols. They were used for trade and often had inscriptions showing the ruler's name or kingdom, right? Name or kingdom. So, these are very short answer question, that is 2 marks of each. Now, 3 marks question answer. Democracy is different from monarchy and dictatorship. Explain. Power source. In a democracy, power lies with the people who elect their leaders, whereas in a monarchy, power is inherited by a king or queen. In a dictatorship, power is held by one person who rules without public consent. Citizen participation. Democracy allows active citizen participation through voting and free speech. In a monarchy or dictatorship, citizens have little or no role in decision making. Accountability. Democratic leaders are accountable to the people. Monarch and dictators are not answerable to the public and may rule without checks, right? Next, how has money as a medium of exchange transformed over time? Or 4 mark question answer is there. Explain separation of power. How does separation of power protect citizens' right? So, barter system. In early times, people exchanged goods and services directly without using money. That is how money has a medium of exchange transfer over time. This is the answer. Use of commodity money. People began using items like salt, grain, or cattle that had value and were widely accepted. Metallic coins. Later coins made gold, silver, and copper were introduced for easier trade and storage of value. And paper money and digital forms, that is, today we use paper currency, bank deposit, debit or credit card, and digital wallet like UPI, Paytm, or Google Pay for fast and convenient transaction. So, in this way, the money was transformed over time, that is barter system, use of commodity money, metallic coin, and now the paper money and digital forms, right? Next, explain separation of power. How does separation of power protect citizens' right? Separation of power means dividing the government into 3 independent branches: legislative, executive, and judiciary, each with its own powers and responsibilities. Legislative branch responsible for making laws, example parliament or assembly. Executive branch responsible for implementing and enforcing laws, example president, government department, prime minister. Judiciary branch responsible for interpreting laws and delivering justice, example court and judges. So, this system prevents concentration of power and ensure check and balances in a democracy. Now, How does separation of power protect citizens' right? So separation of power prevents misuse of power by dividing responsibilities. Each branch checks the power of others and it ensures fair laws, proper enforcement and independent justice, right? So again this is of 4 marks. Now write a short notes on any two. 3 has been given, choices there, right? So benefit of digital money, representative democracy, universal adult franchise. Digital money referred to money that is stored and transacted electronically and using computer, smartphone or the internet. It instantly transfers money anytime, anywhere. It reduces the risk of theft or loss compared to carrying cash. Its every transaction is recorded, making it easier to track expenses. It helps to reduce the use of physical currency and promote transparency. So this is the benefit of digital money. Now representative democracy. It is a form of government in which people elect their representatives to make laws and take decisions on their behalf. India follows representative democracy. It is the most common form of democracy in large countries where direct participation of all citizens is not practical. Then, universal adult franchise means that every adult citizen of a country has the right to vote in election without any discrimination based on caste, class, gender, religion or education. It ensures equality and participation, making it a key principle of democratic government. It gives all citizens a voice in choosing their leaders and shaping laws and policies. So till here we have covered 22 marks of civics. Now the final is the mark the following places in the given outline of map and it carries 3 marks. So the first one is the Great Indian Desert or Thar Desert, then Magadha and the Hastinapur. So I have already covered one map work also, that is a sample paper has been already uploaded. If you want you can check that one also. So here the Great Indian Desert or the Thar Desert. So it is 85% is lie in India and in 15% lies in Pakistan. So the Great Indian Desert is here in Rajasthan. So we will write here, right? The Great Indian Desert. So 85% is in India and 15% is in Pakistan. Next is Magadha, right? So Magadha, it is a powerful ruler and very much famous for powerful rulers like Bimbisar. Moreover, its well-organized, powerful armies and economic prosperity is also very much famous, isn't it? Now, if we are going to talk about the Magadha, then Magadha is in Bihar and this is Bihar, right? So, here we will point Magadha, okay? Next is Hastinapur. Hastinapur is very much important as an ancient city and historical point of view also it is very much famous as there is a Mahabharat connection is also there. Pandava's capital city is there, isn't it? So Hastinapur is in UP, okay, here. So here we will mark Hastinapur, right? So this carries 3 marks. Rajasthan, UP it is in Bihar and this one is in Rajasthan. So here ends our sample paper. 75 mark is over and I have covered each and every questions also, MCQ, short answer questions, source based also. I hope this sample paper is going to help you while just preparing for your half yearly examination. So thank you for watching until the end. This much for this video.